Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be talking you through my favourite super simple vanilla Christmas cookie recipe, and I'll show you how I would present it as a gift to somebody, or even how to poke holes and make them into Christmas decorations for your tree. And so with all that said, let's get straight into the video. You'll need 200 grams of caster sugar, 550 grams of plain flour, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract or vanilla essence, 2 eggs, and then you'll need 200 grams of unsalted butter at room temperature. And to start off with, I'm putting my oven at 190 degrees fan and then mixing the butter and the sugar together until it's light and fluffy. In a separate bowl, I'm just going to lightly beat my 2 eggs together with the vanilla extract. You then slowly add this eggy mixture in with your butter and sugar, and just keep adding a little bit at a time and then mixing it just to make sure everything is nice and even and well combined, and then you'll have a nice smooth base, and then you're going to add in your flour and mix that in well. Just before I roll out my dough, I'm just going to show you guys my favourite baking gadget. This is just a basic pastry mat from Lakeland, and my mum got this for me years ago, and it literally is the best thing ever. It is non-slip, so as soon as you put it down on a surface it won't budge while you're manipulating your dough. It's got all these different conversion tables on it and tart sizes on it, so you know exactly how big to roll out your pastry. It just avoids having a big floury mess everywhere. And also it is super easy to clean, so at the end you'll see I just whiz it off and clean it in the sink. And I'm just rolling up my sleeves and taking off my rings before putting some plain flour on the surface and also on my rolling pin. I'm going to divide my dough into 2 because I find it just easier to work with, and then I'm going to roll out my first dough into about 1 centimetre thickness. You can then use whichever cookie cutters you fancy, and so obviously these are Christmas themed cookies, and so I'm just using a little gingerbread man shape and then also some woodland animals. I believe the woodland animals are actually from IKEA originally, and they are so sweet. And so I'm just rolling up my dough and then rolling it out again and making sure there's no wastage. And this made quite a few cookies, I must say. You can always halve the recipe if this is just too much. You could also add different spices to it. This vanilla recipe, it literally smells like vanilla cupcake, the Yankee candle scent, and it just fills your house with vanilla. It just smells absolutely fantastic. In order to turn your cookies into decorations, you'll just need to poke a hole with a solid straw inside your cookie, not too close to the edge because then this could actually snap while cooking or decorating, and then you just whack everything into the oven for 8 to 10 minutes until it's just going slightly golden brown. Once out of the oven, I'm going to leave these cookies on a cooling rack just to cool off completely before icing. And I must say the animals turned out so well. I'm just showing you close-ups of them, so really recommend these IKEA cookie cutters. And then I'm just going to quickly wipe down my Lakeland gadget before starting to make the icing. So it's a very basic recipe. I just use 400 grams of icing sugar and 4 tablespoons of cold water. And as you can see, Lucy is now back from the nursery, and so she's starting to help me. And yeah, it wasn't the best idea. She was more interested in trying it and making sure it wasn't poisoned or anything, so wouldn't recommend doing this with a toddler. It got absolutely everywhere, but it was still fun and she enjoyed it. And then you can literally decorate these however you wish. I just wanted some plain white icing, so I didn't add any food colouring, but of course you're more than welcome to. You do whatever you want. For the little decorations, just use a toothpick to really get any icing out or decorations out of the hole, and then with the same toothpick I just pushed through a little ribbon and tied it, and voila, you can then stick this on the tree or hang it in your home, and it's just a lovely little homemade element to have. These are really nice presents for teachers or for your local doctor, for example. These make lovely thoughtful gifts, and so for anyone who has a sweet tooth they will love it. And so you can always just use a small bag or a jar. I managed to find this glass pot and I'm just going to stick a ribbon on it, and then I'm just going to show you a couple of other bits which you could stick on just to make it look lovely. And that's it for today's video. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!